Good evening to everyone, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak with you tonight. First, I would like to take this time and thank all of my constituents for appointing me to represent you in this year's upcoming election. Did you know that every year approximately 100,000 Americans fall victim to gun violence? Although I do not believe guns should be completely banned, I do believe it is our duty as Americans to make our country a safer place by limiting the buying and selling of guns, improving the background check system, restricting ammunition magazine sizes, and stating other measures. I believe this will prevent these violent massacres from occurring. Did you also know that there is no major gun legislation that has passed the U.S. Congress since 1994? I stand here today in front of you to let all of you know that if I am elected as president, I will do everything in my power to make sure that gun control legislation will be passed. And how will I do this? I need you, the people of the United States of America, to vote for me, and together we can stop gun violence. There are many issues to talk about, but tonight I'll be focusing on one issue, that is gun control. Gun control isn't about banning guns, it's about the control. Regulations of guns is a necessary action that needs to be taken in order to save lives. And what should we do to eliminate gun violence? Tonight, I will give you the policies that I plan to implement if I was elected as your president. I give you a proposal for a sensible gun control. Although I would personally like to see as many civilians own guns eliminated from mainstream society as possible, I realize that this is not a politically realistic goal. Thus, I present my own plans for gun control that I would consider a valid compromise. First is an instant background checks on people attempting to buy guns or ammunition. Felons and ex-cons should not have access to weapons, and many misdemeanors and juvenile crimes should also count against a person's record. Second is we need stiffer sentences for gun crimes. This has been the position of the NRA, the National Rifle Association, for quite some time, and it is certainly one with which I agree. Third is gun education. Many guns are involved in accidents that could easily have been prevented by little care or forethought. Perhaps gun purchasers should be required to take lessons in gun safety at the purchaser's expense. Again, the NRA has long been a proponent of gun education. Study after study has concluded that there is a direct correlation between lack of education and violent crime. Every dollar spent on education now will prevent countless dollars worth of crime damage in the future. Think of all the private and public funds used to pay for gun violence: hospital bills, funerals, insurance bills, and the actual cost of buying firearms. Now invest that money in education and watch the crime rate stop. Lastly is the hand grip ID tagging. This is technologically probably still in the future, but it would be a good goal to work for. The theory is each gun is registered to one person's palm prints, and only that person can fire that gun. If another person tries, the gun simply will not fire. Thus, stolen guns become useless and cannot be used to harm anybody in the course of a crime. Although many people feel that gun control violates the right of the people, given in the Second Amendment the right to bear arms, controlling distribution and sales and the registration of guns and gun owners is necessary because of the homicide rate involving guns and the violence of criminals using guns. In conclusion, there are valid reasons for why certain people feel that gun control is unfair. People against gun control feel that it is a violation of the Constitution to control the sale and distribution and the registration of guns and gun owners. But it is necessary for there to be certain limits on the way that firearms are handled in this country because of the homicide rate involving guns and because of the violence created by criminals using guns. If gun control legislation were to go through, there would be a significant decline in gun-related crimes and fatalities. And if I was elected your president, I assure you that gun control legislation will be passed. Thank you once again for your time. God bless America.